Welcome back, my spooky little trick-or-treaters. This is Weaver, and it's officially Halloween season. The only time of year when eating fun-sized candy bars for breakfast is considered socially acceptable. And what better way to celebrate than by watching some movies that are just scary enough, but not so scary you'll need therapy later. I'm talking about the top 10 live-action family-friendly Halloween movies. A lineup filled with witches, aliens, ghosts, and at least one troll. These are the movies that made our childhood Octobers magical, or at least gave us a reasonable fear of haunted mansions and pumpkin-headed bus drivers. So let's count them down before Casper gets jealous that I'm still talking. Number 10. The Haunted Mansion from 2023. Let's kick things off with Disney's The Haunted Mansion remake from 2023 starring Rosario Dawson. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, ugh, another remake, hold up. This one actually works. Rosaria plays a single mom who buys a ridiculously affordable mansion in New Orleans. Red flag number 1, if Zillow says a mansion is that cheap, it's haunted. Period. The ghosts are here in full force, some funny, some creepy, and all pulled straight from the iconic Disney Parks ride. We get nods to the stretching room, the hitchhiking ghosts, Madame Leota, basically all the parts of the ride you love without the awkward guy in a fanny pack breathing down your neck in line. Add in Lakeith Stanfield, Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, and Jamie Lee Curtis, and you've got a cast that's way too good to just hang out in a fog machine. Why it works for Halloween. It's cozy scary. There's atmosphere, a few jumps, and a heartfelt story about grief and connection. You get all the Halloween vibes without your kids crying themselves to sleep. Perfect if you want your movie night to feel like a warm beignet covered in powdered sugar, with maybe a ghost trying to eat it first. Haunted houses are classic, but what about aliens who mistake Halloween for an invasion? Yep, we're blasting off for number 9. Number 9. Spaced Invaders from 1990. Back in 1990, we got Spaced Invaders, a movie where tiny Martians accidentally invade Earth on Halloween night. Talk about bad timing. Lucky for them, every kid in Illinois is already dressed like monsters, so nobody notices. Honestly, it's the smartest alien disguise plan ever. Forget cloaking devices, just raid a spirit Halloween. The aliens are goofy, the effects are pure late 80s charm, and the whole thing feels like someone matched up E.T. with a Saturday morning cartoon. These Martians aren't menacing, they're bumbling idiots who look like they just escaped from a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic band, and that's exactly why kids love them. Why it works for Halloween. The whole story is built around trick-or-treat night, costumes, and small-town chaos. It's silly, harmless, and filled with a nostalgic VHS glow. You won't find Oscar-worthy acting here, but you will find aliens that look like they were designed by Jim Henson's intern on Too Much Mountain Dew. From tiny Martians in costumes to teen witches with questionable fashion choices, number 8 shows us that sometimes the scariest thing is high school. Number 8. Teen Witch from 1989. Released in 1989, Teen Witch is the movie that whispered, what if we gave a shy teenage girl magical powers and also threw in a random musical number that makes 0 sense? Enter Louise, who discovers she's a witch on her 16th birthday and suddenly has the power to make herself popular. And she uses it the way we all would, by trying to get the quarterback's attention and humiliating her bullies. The highlight, of course, is the infamous Top That rap battle. If you haven't seen it, imagine your uncle trying to freestyle at Thanksgiving dinner. It's awkward, it's cringy, and it's legendary. Why it works for Halloween. Halloween isn't just about scares, it's about magic, spells, and a little sparkle. Teen Witch has no monsters, but it has enough campy witchcraft to make you want to dig out your old glitter gel pens and write most popular on your Trapper Keeper. Bonus points if you can actually sit through Top That without covering your eyes. Okay, magic powers are fun, but what if the thing living under your bed actually wanted to party with you? That brings us to number 7. Number 7, Little Monsters from 1989. Another gem from 1989. Apparently, a cursed year for questionable fashion. Little Monsters stars Fred Savage as a kid who discovers a blue-skinned chaos machine named Maurice, played by Howie Mandel, living under his bed. Instead of being terrified, he basically says, "Cool, let's hang out," and ends up in a neon-lit monster world full of pranks, slime, and nightmare fuel that somehow counts as family fun. The monster designs are actually impressive, some goofy, some straight up disturbing, and the whole thing has that gritty late 80s kids movie energy. You know, the kind where you're like, wow, they really thought this was fine for children? Why it works for Halloween. Kids love the idea of turning their fears into friends, and this flips the monster under the bed trope into an adventure. Plus, it sneaks in a moral about courage, loyalty, and sibling love, right before the fart jokes. From monsters under the bed to monsters running an entire town. Number 6 takes us to the most festive zip code in the Disney Channel universe. Number 6, the Halloweentown series, from 1998 to 2006. Ask any millennial their favorite Disney Channel original movie, and 9 times out of 10 they'll say Halloweentown. Starting in 1998, this series introduced us to Marty Piper, her witchy grandmother Aggie, played by the legendary Debbie Reynolds, and a secret town where every day is October 31st. Skeleton cab drivers, broomstick races, pumpkin-headed mayors. It's basically trick-or-treat Disneyland. The sequels, Halloween 2, Calabar's Revenge, Halloweentown High, and Return to Halloweentown, vary in quality. Yes, we all noticed when they recast Marty, but the cozy Halloween charm is undeniable. Why it works for Halloween. It's wholesome, colorful, and perfect for family marathons. It feels like wrapping yourself in a blanket fresh from the dryer while sipping apple cider. For kids, it's aspirational. Who doesn't want to find out that their grandma is a witch? For adults, it's pure nostalgia that makes you wish you could move to town where the HOA rules require cobwebs. Of course, not every haunted town is as cozy as Halloweentown. Sometimes you move into a place called Lucifer Falls and meet Mr. Boogedy. Number 5, Mr. Boogedy and Bride of Boogedy from 1986 and 1987. Back in the mid-80s, Disney aired 2 TV movies that traumatized and delighted kids in equal measure, Mr. Boogedy and Bride of Boogedy. They follow a prank-loving family who moves into a house that, surprise, is haunted by a colonial-era ghost named Mr. Boogedy. His powers include flashing lights, thunderclaps, and generally looking like a melted wax figure that escaped from the Spirit Halloween clearance bin. The sequel, Bride of Boogedy, ramps up the camp with more haunted hijinks and fog machines than a Kiss concert. The effects are cheesy, the acting is over the top, and that's exactly why these movies are so beloved. Why it works for Halloween. Their Scooby-Doo episodes come to life. Spooky but silly, scary but safe. And if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, these were the movies that made you beg your parents to let you stay up late. Speaking of creepy towns, what happens when a carnival shows up offering your heart's desire with a serious catch? Time for number 4. Number 4, Something Wicked This Way Comes from 1983. Based on Ray Bradbury's novel, this 1983 classic is the definition of autumn atmosphere. A mysterious carnival rolls into town run by the sinister Mr. Dark, played by Jonathan Pryce, whose smile alone should be rated PG-13. The carnival promises to grant your deepest wishes, but at a soul-crushing cost. 2 young boys uncover the truth, and the story becomes a battle not just against evil, but against temptation and regret. Jason Robards plays one of the most moving father figures in Halloween cinema, grounding the fantasy with genuine emotional weight. Why it works for Halloween. It's not about jump scares, it's about mood. Rustling leaves, carnival lights, and that uneasy feeling that magic always has a price. It's the kind of spooky that lingers like a shadow out of the corner of your eye. Ooh, that one's spooky in a goosebump on your arm kind of way. Let's lighten things up with 3 witches who know how to belt a tune. Number 3. Number 3, Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2 from 1993 and 2022. If Halloween had a Mount Rushmore, the Sanderson sisters would be on it. The 1993 original introduced us to Winifred, Mary, and Sarah. Witches resurrected in Salem when some poor kid lights the black flame candle. Cue talking cats, zombie boyfriends, and Bette Midler singing I Put a Spell on You, like she's auditioning for Broadway. Fast forward to 2022, and the sisters return for Hocus Pocus 2. Was it necessary? Maybe not. Was it fun? Absolutely. Watching them strut back into Salem felt like visiting old friends, if your old friends were murderous witches with fabulous outfits. Why it works for Halloween. This is required viewing. It's funny, it's quotable, and it oozes autumn vibes. Plus, no matter how many times you watch it, you'll always laugh when Sarah Jessica Parker goes full bird brain. From the Sanderson sisters' musical mayhem to Ernest accidentally unleashing trolls, it's time for the lovable goofball himself at number 2. Number 2, Ernest Scared Stupid from 1991. Ah, Ernest, played by Jim Varney. This bumbling hero spends the 1991 Halloween season accidentally unleashing a horde of trolls from an old tree. These trolls are surprisingly creepy, like if someone took leftover Gremlins puppets and said, yeah, that'll do. They turn kids into wooden dolls, and it's up to Ernest to save the day, with help from Milk, because apparently trolls are lactose intolerant. The movie is goofy, slapstick, and filled with the kind of jokes only Ernest could pull off. Know what I mean, Berm? Why it works for Halloween. It's that perfect mix of silly and spooky. The trolls might give little ones a shiver, but Ernest's constant pratfalls guarantee they'll be laughing 5 seconds later. Plus, it's the kind of weird movie that only the 90s could have made. Before we get to number 1, let's talk about a few films that didn't quite fit the family-friendly training wheels. These on-roll mentions are perfect if your kids are a little older, or if you just enjoy adding a touch more nightmare fuel to your popcorn. The Monster Squad from 1987. It's the Goonies, but with Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. It's a little edgier with language and darker tones, but if you ever shouted, "Wolfman's got nards" as a kid, you know this belongs here. Practical Magic from 1998. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman play witchy sisters dealing with love, curses, and midnight margaritas. It's a little too grown up for small kids, but older ones will love the mix of magic, drama, and gothic romance. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from 2019. Based on the terrifying books we all checked out from the school library, this adaptation brings the monsters to life in PG-13 fashion. Creepy enough to thrill, but not enough to scar. Hopefully. Alright, time for the grand finale. The friendliest ghost who ever floated into our hearts. Number 1 on the list is... Number 1. Casper from 1995. Released in 1995, Casper is the king of family-friendly Halloween movies. Christina Ricci stars as Kat, who moves into Whipstaff Manor with her dad, a ghost therapist. Yep, that's a job. There she meets Casper, the sweet ghost boy who just wants a friend, and his 3 uncles, who are basically Looney Tunes with ectoplasm. The movie is funny, heartwarming, and surprisingly emotional. The special effects still hold up, and the ending will punch you right in the feels, especially if you were a kid who ever wished you could hug a ghost. Why it worked for Halloween. It's got everything: haunted mansions, ghosts, laughs, and heart. It's spooky without being scary, sad without being soul-crushing, and nostalgic enough to make every millennial tear up at Can I Keep You? And there you have it. 10 family-friendly picks, plus a few spookier extras, guaranteed to keep your Halloween cozy, creepy, and candy-fueled. Did your favorite make the list, or did I leave out a classic? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more spooky season goodness. Until next time, stay spooky, stay safe, and remember, Ernest already fought the trolls, so you don't have to.